Hello students, Stride here again. Today we are going to look at the solutions to practice problem 6.2 on classification of elements. And make sure you do the problems and check and see how you did. So, question 8, how many valence electrons are in each of the following elements? Remember, for valence electrons we got to know what group they're in. The group will tell us. So you got magnesium, magnesium's in group 2, meaning it has 2 valence electrons. Selenium, symbol Se, is in group 16, which means group 16 has 6 valence electrons. And we got tin, symbol Sn, group 14 with 4 valence electrons. Arsenic, As, group 15, anything in there has 5 valence electrons. And then we have iodine, I, one of our halogens. You must remember the special names for these groups. In group 17, and the halogens in group 17 have 7 valence electrons. So very important to remember the number of valence electrons within each group. Question 2, or question 9, we're using the same elements, but this time we want to know what energy level the valence electron is. And our energy level always corresponds to the period. So magnesium is in period 3, so it's in the 3rd energy level. Selenium, Se, I'm going to abbreviate period, just do P, so it's period 4, meaning our 4th energy level. And I'm just going to use EL for energy level. Selenium, 10, Sn, 10 is in period 5, meaning we're looking at the 5th energy level. And arsenic, As, period 4, so it's also in the 4th energy level. And again, these are our outermost electrons, valence electrons. And iodine, I, period number 5, 5th energy level. Now on to question 10. Here we get to identify some elements. In A, we're given an electron configuration. Given an electron configuration, we should know that when we see that 5s2, that's telling us we're in the period 5. Then out at the end, we see 5p2, that's telling us we're in the p block. And the 2 tells us it's the 2nd element in that p block. So looking at your periodic table, in row 5, p block, 2nd element, you would find 10. B, 5 valence electrons. 5 valence electrons tells us we're in group 15. 6th energy level tells us we're in period 6. So group 15, period 6, we find bismuth. C, we've got 2 valence electrons. That tells us group 2. And the 1st energy level would mean we're in period 1. And then with that, period 1 special, not in group 2 actually, but it ends up going all the way down to group 18 because there's only 2 elements in period 1, and we find it is helium. D, 3 fewer electrons in the 4th energy level than krypton. So here we just find krypton and go back 3, and we find arsenic. And E, got an electron configuration ending in 4p2. The 4 is going to tell us we're in period 4. We're in the P block. And 2nd element. So looking at your periodic table, period 4, go across to the P block, you'll find the 2nd element, which is germanium. Next question. Number 11. You're going to be writing the period, the group, and the block for each of these elements. So A, should look at that, recognize it's in the 2nd period. That's the 2s2, 2nd period. The 2p5 tells us we're in the P block. And to get the group number, you can count on your periodic table, but it'll turn out, as we go across, if you're over in the P block, you're going to find the group. You got 2 elements for the S block. There's 10 elements across a D block, even though here we're not using it. There's still those spaces in there. And then we're the 5th one into the P block. So if we add those up, we get group 17. B, we've got AR 4s2, so we're in period 4, S block. The S block corresponds to groups 1 and 2, and this is 4s2, so it's group 2. C, 5s2, let's look here first, tells us period 5. At the end we see a P, so we're in P block. And to find the row, or the column, group for P block, again, 2 for the S, plus 10 for the D, plus, in this case, 3 for the P, because it says 5P3, so we're in 2 plus 10 plus 3, we'd be in group 15. And D, look at it, we got a 4s2, so we're in period 4. We got a 3D3 out at the end, so let's start here, and then we look out here. So we're in D block this time. D block, we got 2 for the S, plus we're at D3, so 3 means we're at group 5. And next question, we got number 12, and we want to write some electron configurations. So the alkaline earth metal in the 6th period, first thing, we'll just go through here and we'll figure out what each of these elements are, and then I'll write out the electron configurations. So alkaline earth metal, that's group 2, 6th period, we find barium. Halogen in the 3rd period, halogen, group 17, that's going to be chlorine. Group 14 element, in the 3rd period, we're going to find silicon. Group 5 element in the 4th period, we find vanadium. And the group 1 element in the 5th period, we find rubidium. We'll come up with the electron configurations for each of these. So A, looking at barium. If we go to noble gas proceeding, in this case that's xenon, go up and over and up. And then as you're going across the 6th period, we're just going to have 6s2 because barium's in the S block. B, we want the electron configuration for chlorine. Preceding noble gas is neon. Chlorine is in 3rd energy level, 3rd period. So we're going to get 3s2. So you go across, looking at your periodic table, you're going to see there's nothing, no D in this particular row. And we move over into the P block, so 3P, and it'll be the 5th element in that block. C, we're looking for silicon. Preceding noble gas, neon, and just go up and over. Find noble gas in the row above it, out at the end. Silicon is in row 3, so I'm going to start with 3s2. That's silicon chlorine, same row, and we end up with 3p. Silicon is the 2nd element, so 3p2. D, we got vanadium. The noble gas proceeding, argon. And we got 4s2, we move across the S block, then we move into a D block, and D, remember, are off by 1, so we go down to 3D, and it's 3D3. Remember, F's are off by 2, D's are off by 1. And then E, we got rubidium. Rubidium, preceding noble gas is krypton. Then rubidium is in the 5th period, so it's 5s, and it's the first thing we see, so 5s1. Yeah. So that's it for today. Next time, be back with you. It'll be practice problem 6.3, periodic trends. That's all for now.